Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, if we have any. It's a no makeup kind of day because after I do this, I got to go outside and pull some weeds. So, from what I determined when I went out to check the plants that I have out front, it's a little muggy today. So, and if anybody knows if it rained last night, drop a comment because I'm trying to figure that out. If it did, I slept through it. So we're gonna can up some balsamic chicken. Now, originally I said that I was going to do chicken thighs and some chicken breast. Totally forgot about the chicken breast. So I did just about 5 pounds of chicken thighs. So this is already marinated. Actually, I put the marinade together and bagged it up. Today's Friday, Wednesday. So this has actually been sitting in the refrigerator since Wednesday. So this should be really well seasoned. So what you need for your marinade, and I'll put all of the ingredients in the video description. This is actually Mrs. H's balsamic chicken recipe. I absolutely love her. She is just the sweetest little lady down south. So anyhow, so like I said, approximately 5 pounds of boneless chicken breasts or thighs or a combination thereof, doesn't matter. You'll need 3 cloves of garlic. You can use already minced. That's what I did because I haven't pulled any of my garlic yet. You'll need 1/4 cup of honey, maybe a little bit more. 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of rosemary. I think I used just about 2 teaspoons. 1 cup of balsamic vinegar and 1 tablespoon of mustard powder. You whisk all of that together and then set it aside. So after you clean your chicken, you're going to put in, dump it in a bowl. This was originally the bowl. Do not, oh, another thing, don't use metal for your marinade. Just metal and vinegar, just don't do it. So anyhow, so for your chicken, you're going to put 1.5 tablespoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of white or black pepper. I used white. Some Tony Chacheres seasoning. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you real quick. It's this guy right here. You guys can see that. I get a little liberal with that. So 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You can leave those out if you'd like. So you season your chicken up, mix it up really good, rub it in the chicken, make sure that it's really well seasoned, and then you put it in a freezer bag. Once you put it in a freezer bag, dump your marinade in there, seal it, shake it up, lay it flat. I put it in a pan, lay it flat, put it in your refrigerator. You want to let it sit for 24 hours. In my case, it was a little over 24 hours. It went in at 9 o'clock Wednesday night. So, and then halfway through, flip the bag over so that the seasonings can settle on the other side as well. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to pour this all now into my bowl. It smells really good. Now here's the other thing. So I have 2 quart jars and 2 pint jars. Problem is I have about, I think it was 15 or 16 pieces of chicken in here. So I'm putting 5 in the quart jars. And then I need to make pint-sized jars for my husband so that he has stuff on the shelf that he can take to work. because he works 24-hour shifts, and typically right now, because of the way things are, he's at work 6 days a week. So he comes home 1 day a week. So I want to make sure that he's able to eat, not having to run out and try to buy fast food, or come fall and the winter when there is a pretty severe food shortage. Not saying there's not going to be any food, because there will be. It just won't be much. It'll be very scarce, and it'll be extremely highly priced. But this way, we've got smaller size jars for him to take to work to feed him. So I don't ever like running my canner with less than 4 jars in it, but I can't process pint and quart jars together. Quart jars have to process for 90 minutes. Pint jars have to process for 75 minutes. So I can only do 2 jars at a time. And then I was going to try to take something else out and make something else that I could just can with the rest of it, but then I'd have to wait for meat to thaw out. And so just because of time, I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 jars just to get this video done. So that being said, what else do we need? All right, so you need your canning jars. We've got those, right? You need your lids and your rings. Got those. All this has already been washed and sterilized. Typically, I would use a funnel. I'm not going to use a funnel because it's just going to be easier to drop the chicken in to the jars without the funnel. So we don't need that. You will need your magnet for your lids. Or your flats, however you want to call them. This thing is just really fun. Anyways, and you need your debubbler right here. It's also headspace measure. And you need your jar lifter and a rack. Never, ever, ever sit your canning jar in the bottom of your canner. They'll bust. So I have my vinegar to clean my rims with and clean paper towel. So, and I have the water to put in my canner. So this is, we are raw packing or cold packing, however you want to call it. So rule of thumb, cold things go in cold jars into cold canners. Hot foods go into hot jars into a hot canner. So right now, today, everything is cool. So we are going to put our 3 quarts of water into our canner. There will be a little indented line inside your canner. That very first line is where you're going to want to fill your water up to. I also took a black Sharpie and marked it just so I could see it better, because I'm getting old, can't see all that great. So that's done. So now we've got our water in our canner, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting our chicken in here. So we're going to do, that's 1. 2, 3, 4. Now you can put however many pieces you want to put in here, but I just went with 5. I could probably do another one in there. Maybe I'll do 6 in case he's home that day. Just in this one. Alrighty, I'm going to set that aside. I'm only going to put 5 in this one. I don't know. Hubby might only get 1 pint because that's really not going to be enough meat. All right, I had to put 6 in there too. And I trimmed all of these. I trimmed the fat off of them. As best as I could, so because I don't really like a lot of that crap in there. No, dear, you might only get one jar. He's got other stuff on the shelf. I'll put 3 in there for him, and that'll probably last him about 2 days with any sides. Let's set that over there. And I think I'm gonna put this one. Actually, I think I'm gonna cut that one in half. 1 second. See if I can do this without making a mess. Probably not. I don't want to have to touch this. Well, I guess I don't have a choice. Ugh. I'm one of those people that just raw chicken just really weirds me out. So we're gonna put one in this jar. And we're gonna put the other one in this jar. All right, now, there's a little piece of chicken in there, which means I'm definitely gonna have to can something up with this other pint jar. All right, so measuring cup. And then we're gonna take about 1/4 cup it's actually a little less of the marinade. And put it in the jar. Because keep in mind, this chicken is going to release its own juices as it processes. So this jar will fill up with liquid. That is a bit much. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, so let's see what happens when we debubble this. You always want to debubble to force any of the air out. You probably can't see some of these bubbles that are popping up to the surface, but they're there. And we want to get those out. So this one, we're actually probably going to end up taking some out. You're about to hear kids, guys. Sorry about it. I was trying to get this done before the kids got out and came out of their rooms. Go back upstairs for a few minutes. Thank you. So now we've gotten the bubbles out of these jars. And we may need to take a little bit of this liquid out, just because you want to leave room for what that chicken is going to release during processing. Okay. I would say probably out of this one too. This is why I wish I had more chicken in here, because I really don't want to waste this marinade. All right, so that should be good. I don't know, this one might not have enough room. It may siphon. Dump a little more out of there. Anytime you make any adjustments to your liquid, you'll need to debubble again. If you add any more food, if you do anything of that nature. So, better to be safe than sorry. All right. We're gonna call that good. All right, next step. You take your vinegar. And your paper towel. And you want to use vinegar to clean your rims because it will cut any of the fat or the oil that you just dropped from placing your chicken in there. You want to clean the rims really well because you don't want to have anything on there that can cause your lid not to seal properly. So, and if you have any of the food or anything, any particles on your paper towel, just fold it over and use another spot. Now, I always do mine a couple times. I know it's probably overkill, but that's just the way it is. I mean, you're preserving food for your family to eat, so why not just take an extra step to be extra cautious, right? All right, so been reading up a lot. Prior to, it used to be that they wanted you to simmer your lids before you used them. Now, mind you, my lids have been washed in hot water, and so they're clean. They're clean, and my water gets super, super hot, so they're pretty sterile. But now they say that you don't have to simmer your lids. If I'm doing hot stuff, I do. But this is cold stuff, so I don't. So again, so once you put your lids on, you put your bands on. Your bands are only supposed to be finger tight, because you don't want them super tight, because there's still air in this jar. And as it processes, the pressure in the canner pushes the air out of the cans, out of the jars, and you want it to be able to escape. So always finger tight on your cans. And I always check a couple times. So the next thing we do is we put them in the canner. So again, you cannot do quarts with pints. Quarts have to process 90 minutes, pints have to process 75 minutes. So I'm really gonna have to put something else together to can with this pint. So this pint's gonna go in the refrigerator until I'm ready to can it, because once I can this and I take these jars out, obviously the canner has to cool completely down again before I can put in the pint, right? Cool stuff, cool canner. So we've got that in there. Now we are going to bring it a little bit closer. Put you right there. We are going to turn the fire on. This burner takes forever to light. And also, pour a little vinegar in your canner. I have extremely hard water, so for whatever reason, I don't know. So this will help keep your jars from looking all cloudy and having white residue on them or whatever. So that's in there. Fire's on, lid goes on. Oh, before we do that, you have to make sure, this little thing right here, check and make sure you can see straight through it, which I can. Make sure your vent lock is working. Put your lid on your canner and tighten it down. So we're just gonna let that come up. And once it comes up and the canner starts to steam, my vent lock will pop, and then I let the canner vent for 10 minutes. And after it vents for 10 minutes, this goes on right here. Once the pressure comes up to, I keep mine right in between 10 and 11, because for our altitude it's 10 pounds of pressure, but on a dial gauge it's like 11 is fine. So I try to keep it right in the middle. And then this processes at that pressure for 90 minutes. You may have to adjust you will have to adjust. There is no may. You will have to adjust your fire to maintain that 10 pounds of pressure. You always want to maintain 10 pounds of pressure. If you fall below that 10 pounds, then you have to start your processing time all over again. So don't do that. So that's the balsamic chicken. Once this is done and we take it out, I'll do another quick video and show you what it looks like. Yeah, so if there's any questions or comments, drop them down below and I will put the instructions in the description. So everybody have a great day. After my little 2 jars are done, I'll be outside pulling weeds. So everybody have a blessed day and I'll see you on the next video.